there any, are there any loudspeakers on buildings?
Yes, we do have at this time one speaker located at Biscayne Bay that would provide that Informacast type of information. But what we really are doing, we're looking at a number of other systems that could offer us some redundancy in notification. Since Virginia Tech, there have been a number of vendors out there that have a number of different types of products as far as alert notifications. We're looking at those, and again, that's a part of the task force, the campus safety task force recommendations that we look at more notification systems.
55 minutes past 10 a.m. You're listening to FIU's News Talk and Roundtable Discussion. Today we're talking with Director of FIU Public Safety, Bill King, discussing some of the measures the university is taking to ensure security, as well speaking to us a little bit about the department heads. You can join us by phone by calling 305-348-3575. That's 305-348-3575. You can also email us at wrgpnews@gmail.com if you have any questions for Director of Public Safety, Bill King. Are there any new information on the new upcoming public safety facility that's going to replace the old tower?
Well, again, that's another one of those situations where it's not moving as fast as we would like. We have, of course, received some funding through the state for a new facility, and our new facility has been talked about for several years. We are moving forward with what's called a program. We've gotten things started. We initially were looking at a location very close to our current location at the tower, but since then there's been some more discussions about us being a part of a parking structure that would be close, or that would be built close to the new medical center or the medical school campus, which we're still kind of excited about, because I think we'd get a little bit more room in that structure than what we would have at the site we were originally looking at.
And this parking structure would be more on the likes of a parking garage or a parking lot?
It would be a parking garage. We're talking a multi-floor parking garage that we would have a section of, of course, on the lower levels. I think there's even some discussion of some commercial enterprise as a part of that structure too. We did a visit to University of South Florida, St. Petersburg, and there's a police department there within their structure. We were very impressed by how well that is configured. It really didn't give the appearance of being a part of the parking structure, because there's the way it's situated. There's a facade that is in the front part of the structure. There's some commercial enterprise up front. I think there's a bookstore, a restaurant that's a part of that structure. So it looked to be almost separate from the structure itself.
So what's the security like actually within the public safety headquarters? I mean, can simply anyone just walk in to any room, or I mean, are there checkpoints, or will it be secured from potential wrongdoers?
Well, in our current station, as well as probably any police station that you have around the city or around the country, is that there is, of course, the availability for people to come into the facility, but there are some checkpoints and some security areas that people are not allowed into without codes or buttons to let them in those areas.
Approximately, if you can give us an estimate, I know you're not probably allowed to give an exact number on this, but how many officers are on duty on campus at any given time?
Well, it does vary. It varies by, of course, shift. It varies sometimes even by the day of the week. But it's really no secret as far as, of course, through sunshine laws, it's easy to find out the number of officers we have assigned. We're certified for 47 officers. That's between University Park, Biscayne Bay, and for all of FIU security. At any one time, we could have upward of 5 officers on duty, and then sometimes as low as 3 officers on duty. It just really depends. And then, of course, if there's a special or a specific event on campus, we would increase that the manpower for that as well.
Would you say in the summertime you would tend to have less officers just because there are less students?
No, we still have the same number of officers, of course, assigned, and even though there's not as many classes going on, there's lots of other activities that occur on campus during the summer. We have a lot of outside organizations that come in and use our facilities over the summer. We have a lot more younger people on campus, so we have the same number of officers doing basically the same types of jobs.
So on a daily basis, does the number of officers change from day to night?
Yes, I'd say yes. We'd have more officers probably on afternoons than other shifts, but we have some administrative officers, of course, during the day that handle a lot of activities that's not really associated with patrol. And of course, when I mentioned the 47 officers that we're certified to have or authorized to have, that also includes, that would be the chief, the lieutenants, the captains, sergeants as well. So all of us have specific duties and responsibilities that we do on a daily basis. So a good number of officers that would be able to respond during the day may have duties that are also outside of patrol function.
Do you currently feel that you have enough officers to provide security for the whole university?
I would say at this point we have an adequate number of officers to handle security on campus. But as you both know, the university is growing, so we're becoming much more of a residential campus where we've increased the residential population. So that adds extra challenges for us. If we had more officers, there's other services that I think we could perform. But right now, I'd say we have an adequate number. We're looking at hiring some new officers within the next year and then the year after.
So I imagine I'm the FIU's budget manager, and I'm asking you to show to me what an improved public safety could offer us. What would you say?
Well, I would say that we could offer a lot more as far as programs for students in residential halls. I would like to assign some officers or an officer to specific residence halls. I would say we would be able to provide perhaps a bit more security in parking structures, parking lots. I really would like to decrease the number of auto thefts. I'd like to decrease the number of larcenies in parking lots and as well as in some of our buildings. So I would increase our investigative unit a bit. I would also be able to provide, if I had more people, I'd be able to provide more training, information to students, faculty, staff, increase our planning for events, planning for emergencies a lot better.
Suppose someone out there who's listening to this is interested in be applying for a position within your organization. What should they do?
Well, we prefer to have a person that is already certified, a certified police officer. We have an online process that they can go through human resources to apply. The next step after that application would be an interview by our staff, and then the next thing after that, if they do well in the interview, is that they would then have a background investigation done on them. They would have to pass a physical and psychological test, and then they would be on probation here, assigned to a field training officer, after all those steps were completed. What we're generally looking for from a potential candidate would be a person that has a true interest